Hi, thanks for taking a look at the robotics prototype. This is again for the LEAP mission. If you took a look at the storyboard, then this should look pretty familiar. This is a prototype for the learning website and the game. So it's real basic. There's still obviously a lot of work that would go into this, but we did have our basic navigation created and the objectives would be populated, glossary and help. If you looked at the strategy that we used, the instructional strategy, then you know that story and game and play are all part of the strategy. So the introduction and mission sections really have a lot to do with the story. And in video games, this is very common. You know, in the beginning of a video game, there's a lot of story that's laid to kind of take you into the the element. So that approach was applied here to the learning website. So it's pretty much to try to get the learner to become a part of the process, and then the comparison lab is really more of the learning section where the learning begins for the most part. The characters have all been introduced, and now he's coming to find out exactly how he's going to do this. Roger is the main character, and the orbs were a big part of the learning that we created. All the orbs link or open up different learning facts or tidbits and stuff about different sections. So for example, this section is about learning about the different atmospheres and how robots are going to tackle a lunar environment. So we created little knowledge checks, little assessments. This is a drop and drag, so there would be information populated here and they would drop and drag it into whichever section it was relevant for. And the robotics lab is where they learn about different robotic parts. So there can be a number of different types of legs that do different things, different types of arms, different types of head. So they learn all those different things here with the help of some friends. And then here's a little assessment knowledge check where they get a description and they have to match it to the correct type of part. So they have a little timer on that. A little more orb action here for some learning, continued learning. Robots in space, and this particular is about that. Some robots that have already existed so far. And then the creation lab is where they're going to choose a mission. Now it starts to get serious. They're going to choose a type of mission to complete, and they have to build a robot that is able to complete that mission. So they have to use the skills they've learned, assess the type of environment and that the robot has to tackle in order to complete the mission, and what type of parts will be necessary in order to tackle that particular task or environment. So there's 6 missions they can choose from. This is just they pick the right parts, and the whole idea is here they get a little assistance and stuff like that. Actually, the learner is part of the assisting. The learner comes in, he's part of assisting Roger help build his robot. And then here are the tasks, the actual game. So depending on which task they choose, if their robot is not built properly, then they won't be able to complete the task. So some tasks are obviously harder than others. So that was the idea. So there's 6 different missions, 6 different types of robots that can be built. They can choose from the different options. And all of that applies what they've learned through the website. So it's sort of the assessment. And that's it. So I hope that gives you an idea of what we worked on, and the teamwork it took to put that together. There were 5 of us, and we had a real good time doing it. It was a whole lot of work. And you may actually be seeing this one day over at Kennedy Space Center. You never know. Thanks.